Welcome all once again uh, in Robo Study, and today we are going to discuss, rather revise, periodic classification of element for class 10. Okay, so this is since forthcoming exams are heading sometime in May. So we'll discuss. We'll not get into a deeper concept as I said earlier. We will, however, will cover everything which is important for board exam or any other exams which is based on NCERT syllabus, right? So first of all, we as why we need a classification of anything. So when you classify any science or any per se any uh, department of science or any per se any concept or any findings, basically the idea is to regularize or systemize your system in order to refer back. Okay, so the best example is your grocery shop or any shop where you have, or your library, school library or the college library, okay, where you have classified, put everything into the orderly manner. So basically uh, it is the way we how can systemize anything. Here in case of periodic table systemize, because that time there was a continuous innovations were going on, and a lot of people, the lot of scientists, and as we discussed already in a lot of other chapters, everybody were working to finding new element. So basically, and the elements, every elements have a very different kind of similarities and in variations in terms of their potential, their electronic affinity and electron negativity. So this periodic classification helped us in order to classify them based on this property. So there might be a small short questions and the objective question might come. So who was the scientist first who basically um, attempted? So he was, the first attempt was made by the scientist called Duvenier, and the concept is well known, Duvenier triad. Okay, so he was the first person who has given it, the German chemist, and he basically attempted first to arrange, put them, all the element was found that point of time, okay, into a classified manner. Okay, so what he has did, he basically, the triad means three. So what he did, he put the element whatever has was found that point of time into into three groups. Okay, and that group is called a Duvenier triad. Okay, and what exactly he did, actually he basically arranged in the order of the increasing economic masses. So mass was the key basically. So question might ask you, what is the basis of classification? So basis was atomic mass. Okay, and the one major thing, very important thing in his classification, he says the atomic mass of the middle element was roughly average of their two. Means what? When he classified three element, I just put an example here. He put lithium, sodium and the potassium into one group. Okay, and what he did basically, he basically arranged all of them in such a way that the middle one having a average atomic mass of first and three. So if you see, a lithium has an atomic mass of 6.9 and the potassium having 13.9, and we add up them and divide by 2, the way you have find the average, you will get 22.95, which is very close to 23. Similarly, he did it for the other element. So you can refer it back this video later on and see calcium, strontium and the barium. Third is chlorine, bromine, iodine. He did the same. He added 35.5 and 126.9 and divided by 2, he got 81.2, which is nothing but nothing but the mass of the atomic mass of the bromine. So well, so this was his find. But what happened? Uh, he only able to arrange the first 9 element. If you see the first 9, he able to arrange. Okay, and after the 9, the idea is failed basically. And since it was not this idea was not fulfilling the requirement of all the element which was found that point of time, so it was not very much welcome by other group of people, you know, and other scientists. And finally, if you see, it is failing here. So if you say nitrogen and the arsenic, okay, so the it is coming 44.45, and phosphorus atomic mass is 31. So it's failed. So it was fine up to first 3 4, and then here also is failed. That is differentiation is there. So that is the why it is failed. Okay, now since it was failed, but the scientists, they were already, a lot of other people, they have been working on the classification. So the other gentleman, other scientist, his name was Newland. So Newlands given one concept in 1965, and that law was famous in the name of Newland law of octave. Octave means 8. So his way of classification was very much influenced by the way Dauvergne did. So Dauvergne took 3, he took 8. So he tried to improvise on whatever Dauvergne did basically. And what happened? He again arranged it in the increasing of the atomic masses, and what he found that the property of the eighth element was similar to the eighth, the first one, like the musical node we have. You have already read it. Okay, so saregama pada. Okay, so if you, I'll show you the, I have put in a picture for you for your reference. If you say the first one is the H, which is hydrogen, and it is the nickel. Okay, so do you say first, second, third, fourth, fifth, seventh, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and the eighth, and the fluorine is having the same property, what is kind of hydrogen or chlorine. That's what is assumptions. What? But what happened, like the big problem was, it was not a limitation from Newland side. Newland was, it was perfectly all right, but problem was that point of time only the 14 element was up to element whose atomic masses were 40 were available, known to us. So what happened? And moreover, inert gases was invented very in later stage. Okay, and only 56 element which was whatever the number of element probable, only the 56 was incorporated under this law, and the element not yet discovered was not considered. Okay, and some problem was that, like what he did, he was little confused when he started putting into the, on the basis of the properties. So once he said the every first one would be the as similar to the ninth one is the first, eighth one will be similar to the first one. But what happened, he found cobalt and nickel, and other is your cobalt and nickel, and other one C and lithium was into the stage where these two element occupies the same space in the periodic table proposed by him, which was absolutely not right. Okay, so and some more problem was like iron having a problem, because iron doesn't have a far away from the cobalt, and it was not very much connected. If you look at practically also, the cobalt, nickel, and the iron is little far as the properties are concerned. So that was the limitation of Newland classification. Now After the Newland, the new gentleman came. His name was Mendeleev, and the Mendeleev was the person who gave basically this classification of element. Fine. So Mendeleev was classified on the basis of similarities of physical property and similarly the formula. So he put the first concept of the hydride. Hydride means the element. Basically, if you have we have already read in class 9, like hydrogen and oxygen, most of the element in environment, they react with hydrogen and oxygen, right? So, and when they combine with the hydrogen, they form hydride, and when they combine with the oxygen, they form oxide. Okay, so Mendeleev periodic law, okay, states that the physical and chemical properties of elements are the periodic function of their atomic masses. So he did two things. What he did first, he formulated on the basis of hydrate and oxides, and what he did, based on the hydrate and oxide, he found the chemical property, and he knew already physical property. So he stated that the classification is based on the physical and chemical periodic function. So the classification is the periodic function. If I say in such a way, it is the periodic function based on the physical and chemical properties of the element. Okay, so and Mendeleev arranged element in order to their increasing atomic mass. Till now, the atomic mass was the key. The only one, first one, never talk about the physical properties and all. Now, Newland was the first person. He started talking about the physical properties. Now, Mendeleev was, so if you say it is the one is the like stepping stone of the other attempt of the classification. Okay, so but like if you remember the failure what we have discussed in case of the Newland, so Newland has not left a space for the newly invented element which was been in the process of discovery at that point of time. But Mendeleev was little smart. He left some gap in the periodic table proposed by him, and that gap is basically was there for some, and that point of time, like scadarium, gallium and germanium was not discovered, but later on they found the place he left was absolutely correct. He was a very intelligent person. Okay, now his periodic table is having a 7 horizontal rows and 8 vertical rows. Okay, so 8 vertical rows and the 7 horizontal rows. So what he said, like, so and 1 to 7 were registered as a group, and 1 4 5 6 7 8 except 8 divided into one vertical column they said groups, and the horizontal they said period. So these are the things you have to remember. Okay, and then if you see, these are the oxide and the hydride oxide and hydride. Okay, so he did in the basis of that. So we are not getting into a lot of deeper things. I understand for the long answer, and for other thing you must be referring your book. So this is the revision class. So what is the important thing here to take away from Mendeleev periodic table? Like the classification on the basis of the physical and chemical properties of element. Second, the atomic mass was the base. And the third, he proposed the model which is the properties what his concepts lies on the basis of the hydride and oxide. And the third and the last important point is that he left some space for the element which was not known, and few things also. If you see what he table is structured in the form of groups and period. So the 7 horizontal rows are known as the period, and the 8 vertical rows are known as groups. Okay, I hope this is clear this point of time. Okay, so we'll continue in the next video about the limitation of Mendeleev, and we will also take up the new modern periodic table.